Give me 1 second. I'm just taking a swig of my green tea right now. I needed that. That was so refreshing. Good evening, all y'alls, or good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are in this lovely hootin world. Welcome back to my room. Welcome back. Can you believe that debut happened just less than 24 hours ago? Well, almost 24 hours ago. I can't believe it either. I'm so happy that I'm finally able to stream normally. Again. Like a normal human. I mean, normal owl human demi-human being. Yes, not a human. Sorry, that was my mistake. You didn't hear anything. I'm so glad I'm able to stream again like a normal demi-human being. Yes. Yeah, about that. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions about what happened yesterday. Might be a little bit confusing, right? A human, yes. A human, not a human. I'm a hootman, an owl human. A hoot and a man. Because I have hoots and I have mans. More questions than answers. You know what? Just let it all go. If you have any questions that for some reason might seem more complicated than it really is, just let it all go. Let your imagination run wild, because I guarantee you 99% of it actually will be true. But tonight, we're not going to be talking about that too much. We're going to be going over my slides again, going into them a little more depth, and going into a little more depth into them. And also, I just wanted to thank everybody for all of your unending support from the very start of my journey all the way till now. I honestly would not be able to do any of this without you guys, and there were so many moments in this journey that I felt like I was going to give up. But just seeing how quickly everybody came to support me after all of the terrible things that happened last year, from helping me fund the new cozy clinic to getting me right back on my feet. I've witnessed this many times throughout my career, but this time was very personal to me, and honestly the most important to me, because I finally am able to be reborn as someone that I can where I can show my true self. I don't have to hide anything from you guys anymore. No longer am I the fake version of myself. From here on out, you will see the real version of owlthy. Yeah. Thank you so much for helping me get all of the funds to get back on my feet. It was honestly so fast, so quick how it got funded. And it still shocks me to this day. And I still low-key want to cry when I think about it, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. I wouldn't have this lovely model if it wasn't for you guys. I'm finally free. Finally free from the cage. And that's all I wanted to say. And I hope you guys can be proud of me, and I hope that I can become someone that I am proud of in the future. Yeah? Turns out the real owlthy's 3 times more caffeinated. Really? I told you I was coming off caffeine. I told you I was weaned off caffeine. It's a lie. Zender, okay, so people are gonna keep asking me the question, are you human? Are you an owl? Let me just say this straight out. The honest truth. I am a demi-human. Half human, half owl. Do you see these ear tufts on my head? I can take them off. Have you guys watched that new anime, Shikonoko Noko Kostantan? Same thing, same concept. Shikonoko can take her antlers off, like how I can take my ear tufts off. So we're an owlthy. Wait. Shikonoko, Athi. Athunka badonka donk. Athunka badonka badonk. Athi no. Yeah. So I'm truthfully a demi-human, all right? And if anybody asks you otherwise, please tell them I'm a demi-human, or else things can get a little bit messy. Okay? And I don't want to be unalived again after I went through all of that, okay? All right. So welcome to my debut 2.0. I titled it Anatomy of a VTuber, Anatomy of an Athlete, because we are literally going to be dissecting me in a little bit. I set up the operating table and everything. I made a clone version of myself. Yes, I have a cloning machine. It's awesome. And we're going to go and take a deep dive into what is really going on inside Owlthy's body. Milky asks, is that comfy looking owl hanging on the wall an official pill owl? I think you mentioned it briefly yesterday, but I assumed it was an Owlthy owl. Those are you guys. You guys are the most important things to me. So I put you on my wall so that I could stare at you every day, every single waking moment. When I wake up, before I go to bed, the last thing I see and the first thing I see are my lovely pillows. And they just remind me that tomorrow's gonna be a great day, or today is gonna be a great day. Free, yes. You guys are free. I have a lot of owl paraphernalia in my room. As you can see all my little owl plushies, so they all remind me of you. But first, I want to address something. I have a big issue about what happened last night. There are a lot of things that I have regrets on. My biggest regret is how freaking scuffed my debut was yesterday. I honest to God did not know that my reverb was on, and I have a very good explanation for it, okay? I have a very, very good explanation for it. So, me being kind of like low-key having ADHD, scrambling to kind of do last-minute things before debut, and for some reason taking out the trash and cleaning my house literally 10 minutes before debut, even though there were so many things I needed to finish, I, for some reason, decided to take up my guitar and was like, oh, maybe I should sing something at the very end if I have time, if it doesn't go over an hour. So I brought out my guitar, I turned on my reverb, and I was testing it out, and I was like singing. I was like, great, okay, my reverb works. I leave the room, I go out and I take out my trash. I come back, it's time for debut. I press start and I go through all my scenes. I'm like, okay, everything's there, chat is there, all my overlays are okay. Everything is perfect. I press start and then I don't even look at the fact that my reverb was on. So as soon as I start talking, I'm like, oh boy. And nobody pointed. Well, okay, some of you did point it out. So thank you for those who did point it out to me. But I feel like because chat was going by so fast, I just couldn't keep up, okay? I couldn't tell that my reverb was on. So I apologize in advance for that. Everything was in fact not daijoubu. Yeah, I lied. When I said everything was according to Keikaku, it was not according to Keikaku. Although it was half according to Keikaku because I was planning to do a little bit of singing. And so my reverb was on because of that. And so it was kind of a plan, except I wasn't singing. So half of it happened, right? Right? The purpose was there. The intention was there. Just the execution was not right. You thought it was part of the bit? Well, I appreciate your honesty and your open-mindedness. Because many people wouldn't think that. Yeah. The scuff was good. Okay. You need like a good amount of scuff in a debut stream, or else you can't really call it a debut stream, right? There needs to be a healthy amount of scuff. Like maybe like at least 30% of your stream needs to be scuff. or else you can't call it a success. So I call it a success. All right, that's a defining trope of a debut stream, and I nailed it. Hit it right in the nail. Hit it right in the head. But I also wanted to address a couple other things. By the way, are my joints a little bit stiff still? You know what I think it is? I think it's because of you guys. You guys are making me stiff. You guys are making my muscles sore. I need to get rid of you guys. There's too many of you here. Get out of here. Stop making me overexert myself. Look at this. Excuse me. Get out. Okay, much better. I fixed some things, I think. I'm a bit okay. I wanted to also address some comments that I saw during the chat in yesterday's debut stream. But before that, did you guys notice? Yeah, I'm surprised none of you actually mentioned this, but during the beginning sequence of my debut stream, there was this little screen that popped up. And I'm surprised nobody actually caught on to the little code in there. So I'm just putting it out there that code actually does translate to something. So feel free to go decipher that to your heart's desire. It's very easy. It's like one of the most basic ciphers that you can get out there. But I thought, why not? If I'm gonna type a bunch of random mumbo jumbo onto a cheat code, why not make it something that people can actually decipher? So go enjoy your deciphering, my little sleuths. It's a mystery, yes. It was on your phone. Okay, right. Nobody knows, but I do like elements of mystery and surprise, so I always try to incorporate that in my streams. Yeah. And then, my favorite part, I just had to showcase this again because my debut song was very much like an anime opening. Every time I showed my debut song to people, they were like, whoa, this sounds like an anime opening. And I was like, yeah, that's the vibe I was going for. I'm glad that you thought that. So, of course, since it's an anime opening, I had to include the この番組はグラのスポンサーの提供でお送りします thing at the very end. And I know that I do like a really good voice for that. So if you guys ever need a voiceover for the sponsor of anime credit scenes, then just hit me up because I will do your グラのスポンサーの提供でお送りします for you. And obviously I couldn't use real brands because I wasn't about to get copyrighted, although I was playing a very, very dangerous game. I think I was there was like a very fine line between what was considered copyright and what was not during the beginning part, especially with the Cooking Mama stuff. Luckily I just like blurred everything out, so hopefully I don't get sued by Nintendo for that. But I really wanted to include like acetaminophen, but then I called it athenaminophen because yes, one of my personal products that I give out is called athenaminophen. Yeah. What do you call it? It's one of my my top products. Yes. And then Fahrenheit, obviously, because it's like the alternate version of Celsius. Instead of giving you a caffeine boost, it gives you the opposite. It makes you feel sleepy. I guess they put some melatonin in there or whatever, ashwagandha, chamomile. You put that all in there and you can go to bed. And then McDonald's, because best milkshake ever comes, and best fries come from McDonald's. Off-brand Macas is your favorite, right? Plus, you know, since I've been isekai'd, all of the McDonald's here have become McDonald's. So it only makes sense that I would put a McDonald's sign there. There's no such thing as McDonald's here. Everything is McDonald's with a W, a capital W. You know how to reach us for that sponsorship, Fahrenheit. Hey, I should start my own brand of a competitive drink against Celsius, except it's not an energy drink. It's a sleeping drink. It's a sedative. Might, you know, sneak a little bit of those sedative medications in there. Maybe we'll put sprinkle a little bit of Ambien in there. But then people will end up taking that instead. So instead of me being addicted to caffeine, I might end up becoming addicted to sleeping medications or sleeping drinks, if that became a thing. So instead of me drinking a Celsius, a coffee, and some caffeine pills, I'd end up drinking a Fahrenheit, which puts me to sleep, and my Ambien and a Benadryl, and may or may not wake up from that. But big concern. I know. Yeah. When you heard melatonin actually doesn't work. From my honest experience, I really do not think it works at all. I think because I work night shifts and I'm a night owl, I don't think melatonin secretes. Like, I don't think I secrete it at all, because usually melatonin is associated with like sunlight and your circadian rhythm. And my circadian rhythm is non-existent. And I also never see sunlight, so I never secrete melatonin. So it just doesn't work for me. Right? So, and also when I prescribe melatonin to my patients, it never works. Ever. Never, ever, ever works. Especially even my kiddos, my young kiddos who we try to put to bed. 3 milligrams of melatonin never puts them to bed. We always have to give them the Benadryl. But even then, the Benadryl doesn't work. No. In some cases, melatonin wakes them up. Right? Exactly. Complete opposite for me. Anyways, moving on. So I wanted to address some comments in the live chat from yesterday. I found some of them really funny. So here's a comment that Meow Mix posted when I think I was airing my lore video, and he was like, reincarnated as a girl failure in another world. And I was like, is that me? Am I a girl failure? Yeah? Oh my god. I'm so sad. I can't believe you think I'm a girl failure. Meow Mix. Excuse me. I'd like to say I'm quite accomplished, especially in my career, okay? It's not easy. It's not easy to establish yourself as a renowned nurse in another world, to start up your own clinic and everything. Am I right? How rude. But I appreciate the wit and the comedy. It gave me a little laugh. And then this comment said, right, Chris literally thought I was a witch. So I understand why you would think that, because of the whole, there's a human vibe, humans get burned alive kind of situation. So that's why I'm telling you guys, and you need to stop asking, I am not human. I am a demi-human. All right? You don't want me to be burned alive like a witch. So just please stop asking me that question and just tell everybody I'm a demi-human. Or else you might not see it. Or else I might end up like owlthy yesterday, and instead of being an egg, I will be big owlthy, but burned alive on a pan. Yes. Don't want that to happen to me. If anything, your lore shows you that true failed. I'm like fail. I guess I kind of failed in life because I died. If you die, that means you failed in life. You failed in living eternally over 100. I don't even know what the goal is in life anymore. What is it to live? What is it to win in life? But once you die, you lose. So I guess I did lose. I am a loser. Okay, I get it. Thanks for the clarification, JT. Yeah. Not JT. Thank you so much for the clarification, Zender. Sag. You guys are just roasting me in these comments, by the way. And Ominous Waffle is like, the frames be asleep too, like right now. Okay, you know what? I genuinely think it is a chat issue. Because look, as soon as you guys are gone, goodbye. It is 100% a chat source issue. I'm just gonna change it right now. Look, you're. Why is it like this? Why it always gotta be like that? I spent so much good money on a nice fancy chat, and then all of a sudden I put it on screen and it decides to just not let me work. So I'm gonna put a chat. Hold up a second. I'm gonna put a different chat here. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. I have a long chat now. Wait. Whoopsie. Short chat. There we go. There we go. Better. Good alternative. Alright, better than nothing. Right? Alright, there you go. Chat's back. So anyways, my frames were asleep, but that's because of my chat. I told you it was you guys. It was your fault. Oops. That was for later. All right. What else did we want to? What other comments were there? Yeah. My frames just got really, really nervous when you guys were watching, and I think you guys were just too heavy to carry. So I was just very, very, very laggy. You know, there's just too many people to carry here in the chat. I can only do so much. My muscles can only exert themselves so much, you know? Anyways, moving on. And now I think CD Nuts was talking about the reverb, and I found it so funny when they were like a musical theater vibes, and I can't tell if they were talking about the actual music video or if they were talking about the fact that my entire room was at like a theater. But yes, that's exactly what I was going for. Musical theater vibes, if you want to think of it that way. My entire life is a musical theater, so of course my reverb has to be on. In fact, why is it not even on right now? I have to recreate the whole experience. Okay. My life is a musical theater, and chat is making me very, very laggy. And everything will be alright, is what I tell myself, but actually it is not. I'm really just coping. Yeah. And then when I found out that my reverb was on later on, I apologize for the really loud owl screech that I did, but I genuinely did not know that my reverb was on, so I was so shocked and just so pissed off at myself. So my tea kettle started boiling, and yes, the tea was ready. But then Mika was all like, "Oh God, the screech!" I was reading through the comments. I was like, "Oh no, I probably made some people's ears bleed, didn't I?" But then Cleeskew and a lot of other people were like, "She's really an owl. Did you hear that screech?" Yes, that's proof that I am an owl. So for all of you who still think I'm a human, you are wrong, because there's just proof yesterday that I'm an owl. Like, no human could ever make a screech that high. Only owls can, right? Did you hear that screech? I'm owl. All right? And then the best comment of the night, and I thought it was very sad, but also very, very funny. When we're mastering running teen was like, "That was the first VTuber noise that has managed to upset my new dogs." I'm so sorry. Wait, I was about to do it again. I'm sorry I upset your new dogs for your master. I didn't mean to. I actually have a worm dog myself, and I don't know if my worm dog actually heard me screech, but I think it was fine. How loud were you putting my stream on? For your dogs to have been upset from the noise. Weirmaster, were you putting me on full blast in your bedroom or something? I mean, I appreciate that, but seriously, if your dogs were upset from that, I must have been on like 1,000% volume. Anyways, I don't know. I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed about that. It'll never happen again, I promise. I'll try to restrain myself from screeching too loudly as an owl, okay? Anyways, let's just go over these slides real quick, okay? So you guys already know. We already talked about my birthday, but I wanted to make an announcement that I will be hosting a birthday stream at the end of the month. Not exactly on 8/31, not exactly on August 31st, but I will be hosting it probably like a few days before because I realized I'm working on the 31st. Me, stupid me. I'm working on my birthday. Yeah, not gonna jinx myself at all. But I think 2 days before that, I'm free, so I might do a 24-hour stream, and I actually have a lot of fun surprises in store. For one, I'm gonna be opening my memberships then. And I will be revealing all of the new emotes and the badges that will be available for you guys. In terms of monetization and super chats and all of that, I feel like I'm plan on opening them next week, not this week. So if you see the super chats are closed, it's because I did that on purpose, just because I want to focus on getting to know you guys better, and I want to focus on establishing the cozy clinic and just getting everybody accustomed to the vibes. And for some of you who tried to guess my age yesterday, I think one of you actually got it correct. I'm not gonna say who. So I'm like, oh god. And people know my age now, but that's okay. That's okay. At some point you guys are gonna realize how old I am. And I don't really care. Age is just a number, right? Right? I should just tell you in owl. I should just tell you in owl years, but I forgot how old I am in owl years. And again, I reiterate, my species is a demi-human, alright? Alright? Don't get that mixed up. Look, don't I look exactly like this? And don't I look exactly like this? There's real proof right here that I am half owl. Anyways. Okay, we already know this, that I am a nurse and a vape enthusiast. I apologize for the very traumatic IV insertion attempt that I did yesterday. I did not plan on committing manslaughter on stream, but you know, I want to tell you my real plan. What I initially planned for that scene was to have a banana, not a black banana, a regular banana. And so what I did is, okay, I'm just gonna tell you the secret, all right? Mr. Banana, he was actually already dead when we got to the scene, okay? He was essentially a cadaver, all right? So I actually prepped Mr. Banana for this situation, and the problem was that I'd kept him in the fridge for too long. I honestly don't know how long I kept him in the fridge, maybe 2 weeks. And by the time I opened my fridge to get Mr. Banana, he had turned completely black. And I was like, whatever. Looks like he ended up just shriveling up or something. Getting some 3rd-degree burns, whatever. So I was planning to actually insert an IV in the banana, and it worked before. When I practiced, it worked before. Okay? But all of a sudden, I guess because he was too soft or too mushy or something, I just couldn't get it. And I did get blood return. I did get a flash, and I had dyed the liquid inside him because there's a tube inside. There is actually a vein. There was one vein inside Mr. Banana. You guys can see it because under Mr. Banana's skin, right? So there was a vein. It was red. His blood was red. So because of all the different times I had practiced on Mr. Banana, I guess his veins had kind of exploded, and the fluids, the bloods, whatever, had seeped into his outside interstitial space. So when I proceeded to do CPR on Mr. Banana, and his innards had been revealed, they somehow ended up becoming red, but that was because of the liquid that was inside his vein, okay? So no, it wasn't ketchup. No, it wasn't blood. It was some sort of banana juice, all right? Some red banana juice that was inside his vein that had seeped out, okay? All right. He didn't look too hot. Nope. I didn't commit malpractice. No, because he was already dead. How can you commit manslaughter if someone was already dead? It may have looked like it. It may have looked like it, but I can prove myself wrong. Like, you bring me to court and I'll prove myself innocent. Definitely, yeah. You're giving him CPR with the force the force of Mjolnir thrown with full strength on the fallen stonemason. Oh my goodness. Do I have that much strength? Do I have the strength of the gods? Of the Norse gods? Probably. I like to think that I'm as strong as Thor. Me and Thor can go on a throwdown. We'll see. We'll see who wins in an arm wrestle. I'd probably win. It was really funny when you said he's going to flatline in a minute. I could hear Mr. Bettis. I didn't plan for that at all. I didn't plan for him to flatline either. I didn't plan for him to pretend flatline. I wanted his vitals to be pretend stable the entire time, or pretend multi-stable throughout the entire time. Like somewhat stable, but like crashing stable, because his heart rate was elevated, his blood pressure was low, his O2 sat was a little low. I wanted it to keep it like that, but then when all of a sudden I had smushed him to oblivion, I knew I had to flatline him, because then how could he still be alive at that point? Right? Did I check his potassium levels? They were probably through the roof. That was probably why his heart rate was going really high, and then he ended up flatlining. If anything, it was cardiac arrest because of how much potassium it was in his system. Anyways. So, yes, I talk about my current mental state as always, everything is fine. And that was my current mental state throughout the entirety of last night. I was like, everything is fine. Everything is fine. And me not low-key panicking when I realized that nothing was going to plan. It kind of went okay in like the middle part when I started talking about myself, when I started showing these slides. I was like, okay, everything's going great. I could just Zatsu my way through this. I'm improving my way through this. None of this was practiced, by the way. None of this was intended. Until it got to Mr. Banana, and then that definitely was not intended. All right, I tried to introduce a story to you guys. I try to make it immersive, but then things don't go as planned. And things did not go as planned for me last night. So I could not sleep afterwards because all of these intrusive thoughts were going through my head like, oh my god, what if I had done that instead? Or what if I had done that instead? If I just do that, then that wouldn't have happened. And I just reminded me of like if I made a mistake at work, or if I made a mistake in general. I like to dwell on it for a very, very long time. And it was just like a few hours ago when I was like, you know what, screw this. All my other streams are gonna be so much better than my DB stream. Screw that. I'm better than that. You really improv the heck out of me. I want to be real with you. I actually had a script up. I printed a script on paper. It was like 3 pages worth of pre-written dialogue. And I said none of it. I said none of it. I spent so much time writing it. And none of it actually came out because I couldn't read it. I was so stupid. I'm so stupid. I freaking hate it. Look at it. Everything is not fine. Ugh. Somebody give me some fuzzy socks. Actually, yeah, I'm not wearing fuzzy socks, but I love some fuzzy socks right now. And I want some big hot chocolate as well. And somebody was asking, what does little tickles mean? I was reading the chat yesterday, and somebody was specifically asking, what are little tickles? Little tickles are when you tickle somebody for less than 5 seconds, oh no, less than 3 seconds, in their neck or in their armpit, okay? Nowhere else, or else that would be considered like low-key assault. Do not touch me anywhere else. My neck, I'm very ticklish on my neck. You can tickle me on my ears. You can tickle me on my armpits. You can tickle me on my hip. I'm very, very ticklish on my hip and my feet. So those areas, yes, you can tickle. Little tickles there. Neck, hip, neck, armpit, hip. So wait, neck, armpit, tummy. You can also take my tummy. Tummy or side hip and feet. Those are my most ticklish spots. If I could rank them from my most ticklish spot to my least ticklish spot, I think number 1 most ticklish is my side hip. And then number 2 is my neck. Number 3 is my feet. And then number 4 is my tummy. I'm not very ticklish on my tummy, but I'm very ticklish on my hip. If anyone even just comes close to my hip, I'm already placebo laughing. Yeah. You volunteered your turn. I'm not that ticklish on the tummy. You gotta really, really tickle really hard on my tummy. Anyways, I just exposed my weaknesses to you, so take note. But be warned that if you tickle me for too long, I will kick you in the face, remember? I have very thick thighs, and I don't know if you'll survive. So I can't be responsible for that. I can't be responsible for anything that happens if you do end up letting me kick you. Yes, please. Oh no. Oh, you know what? Might as well. That way I can get more money, right? You guys will come back with a concussion and I can just bill your insurance and we can all win. See, this is what we call a reciprocating relationship, because you get something out of it, I get something out of it. You get kicked in the face with my bare feet. You get to come to my clinic and I get to bill your insurance and I get to be rich, right? Works, win-win situation. Fair trade. I agree. I do wonder how flexible your spine is. We'll see. You'll just have to get a checkup. Make sure you book an appointment first. Make sure you get proper insurance, or else your bill's gonna be really expensive. Here in this isekai world, it's not cheap either. That's why I have to open my clinic in the woods, because there are some people who cannot afford doctors in the city, in the main town. So I opened this like little clinic in the middle of nowhere for people who can't really afford it, and for people who will otherwise be turned away from the main clinics in the town square. I take anybody, whether you have insurance or not, and I try not to bill like too expensive. So don't worry, guys. I'm not a very expensive doctor. Rent is high even in isekai. Right, exactly. Look, this bedroom does not pay itself. Everything in here was quite pricey. It was capital. So, going back to the things that give me SVT, I forgot to mention. So somebody was asking specifically what sad anime and sad manga endings give me SVT, supraventricular tachycardia. And the first thing that comes into mind is the Anohana ending. That stuff destroyed me. And not specifically an ending, but a bunch of scenes from Clannad destroyed me. The Place Promised in my early days destroyed me. Suka Suka ending destroyed me. What else? What else makes me want to bawl my eyes out? Anything by Key, basically. Clannad, Canon, Air. Plastic Memories, also kind of sad. Yeah. Very, very, very sad. There's a Cork Memory too many. I think the saddest anime, one of the saddest anime endings has to be Anohana. You can literally show that ending clip to anybody, even if they haven't watched the anime before, even if they have never watched anime before. You just show them that scene, give them a little context, and they will be bawling their eyes out. And that actually happened to me, because I remember when my friends came over, my school friends came over to my house, I was like, oh, you guys started watching anime, right? Let me show you a really, really sad anime scene that made me cry. And they're like, oh, sure, I don't think it's gonna make me cry. So then I told them the background of the story, and then I showed them that 5-minute scene, the very ending scene of Anohana, when they were like calling out to Menma. And I turn to them, and all of a sudden I just see them with the big fat tears just dropping down their face, like rolling down their cheeks, and they were bawling their eyes out. I was like, I told you you were gonna cry. Yeah, even though they had no idea what the show was really about, or they had not watched any previous episodes before, they started bawling their eyes out because of the Anohana ending. I believe it's the saddest one ever. Yeah. Oh, Violet Evergarden as well. Definitely. Most definitely. A lot of Kyoto Animation anime makes me want to cry. Makes me really, really, really sad. And the Makoto Shinkai ones as well. Just gives me like a very, like, it pulls at the heartstring. It's that feeling that it almost feels like someone is squeezing your heart a little bit, and it feels like suffocating in a way. That's how I feel. And then I forgot to mention new residents. But yes, as a nurse, this is the time of year that new residents are in. And I can already tell you that there have been a handful of times that the new residents have gotten on our nerves. There have been times where I've called them and they don't know what patient I'm even talking about. Or I've called them and they're like, and I told them, you forgot to order this, you forgot to order that. And then they're like, oh, well, let me ask my senior if we can. And I'm like, but it's just a Tylenol. Can we please order a Tylenol for this kid who's having fever? And they're like, okay, but like, let me ask my senior. And I'm like, hello? Hello? Why do you need to ask your senior for something as simple as that? Anyways, they have to learn. I come to the realization that most of these residents who step foot into the hospital have not really had much direct patient contact. So I have to be very, very forgiving. And if anything, we learn from each other. But did they ask their senior though? Exactly. They always have to ask their senior for every tiny little thing. When I ask them like, oh, can the patient like walk outside? Can the patient eat or drink water? And they're like, let me ask my senior. Let me ask my senior. I don't think I've ever heard a first-year resident so far actually make a decision when I call them, because they're the first one to answer the phone, right? So we pick up and I'm like, hey, I'm asking you about this patient, so-and-so, and they're running a fever, and we want to give some Motrin or some Tylenol. Can you order them around the clock? Or, hey, I realize that you're underdosing them with the Tylenol. You're only giving them 325 when we really want to give 350. They're a big kid. I mean, not 350, 650, and because they're a big kid. And then they're like, let me ask my senior. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. There have been moments where they have been very, very helpful, because there have been moments where I've not been able to reach residents or make a decision or make changes immediately, and they're always the ones that help me get answers quickly, because I feel like they have to prove themselves since it is their first year. So they're always scrambling around and trying to make things right. So at least they have that for them. They have great work ethic, although some of them might have a little questionable work ethic. But once they become second years, then everything changes. It's like they become a completely different person. They really just have to go through the experience of kind of not knowing, and then at the same time feeling like they're being looked down upon, because yes, there are so many of my coworkers who just think, oh my goodness, they don't know what they're doing. And I like to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not that mean, but there have been some first-year residents who have thrown us nurses under the bus, and I will never ever forgive them for that, because that's just not called for at all. We're here to help you, and you guys are just trying to save your own ass by throwing us under the bus by saying that we made your mistakes. Anyways, I could go on. It happens all the time, by the way. Happens all the time. So some of you are very confused about what I meant by that one Peppa Pig episode with the recorders. I urge you to go Google it. And I know some of you did Google it and your ears were destroyed, but I want to warn you, like, don't wear headphones while you're watching the Peppa Pig episode with recorders. And yeah, so this is just an episode that just so happens to be played all the time. And I don't know why Peppa Pig decided to make an episode with recorders, but I just thought it was like the dumbest idea that they've ever made. And why did it have to be with bad recorder playing? At least they could have been good at playing the recorder, right? Then it would have been nice for the ears. But no. Having a recorder at home with a young child playing on it is already torture enough. Now imagine that on a TV show, playing 24 hours a day. No, I feel bad. I really, really feel bad for parents who have to go through that. If anything, they should block that video. There's a way on YouTube that you can block a certain video. That's what I would do. If I end up having kids and they end up liking Peppa Pig, I'm going to be on there and blacklisting all of the Peppa Pig episodes that I think are really annoying. If anything, blacklisting all the Peppa Pig episodes, full stop. Right? It just changed your life, right? It is a life-changing experience. If anything, it is an ear-changing experience. So I hope you don't come out of it deaf. 24 hours a day. People be playing it on repeat. I'm telling you. So yes, going through my favorite music artists again. I know I mentioned that all of these musical theater, all of these musicals that I mentioned are ones that I've watched. I've actually watched way more than these, by the way. I've also seen SpongeBob the musical. I've seen Aladdin. I've seen like a very off-Broadway version of Holes. It was really, really cool. I really liked that. I've seen Matilda. Actually, the first Broadway musical I watched in New York City was Matilda. But before then, I had watched Avenue Q, just like in a different place, an off-Broadway production of it, a touring production of it. Yeah. There's a musical version. It was like a small scale school. Like my college had a production of it. Like some musical theater major in my school had produced a version of Holes, and they did a very small performance for students, and I watched that, and I thought it should have gone to Broadway because the songs were really, really catchy, and I'm really surprised it hasn't gone to Broadway yet, because Holes is such a good book and such a good movie that I feel like it would do really, really well as a Broadway musical. And the concept of it was really cool because you know how you technically can't dig real holes on a stage? So what they used as holes on the stage were like these circular carpets. So they would like be carrying these carpets around with them on the stage, and then just put them on the ground and with their shovels, and then just pretending to dig an actual hole with the carpet. I thought it was really cool. Yeah. And then somebody was asking about Fiction Junction, California. Yes, I listened to all of them. Actually, Fiction Junction, if you guys know, I think one of the members, or was like some of the members in Fiction Junction also ended up in California, or are they completely different? I can't remember. I think one or a couple of them were also in California. Either way, Fiction Junction, I personally love more than California, even though California's great, it's fantastic, but Fiction Junction is just like on a whole nother level, because the music that Fiction Junction produced or sung for, the animes that they sang for, are some of my favorite animes out there. There's this one insert song. Oh, and I totally forgot to include what favorite anime I love to watch, by the way. There is an insert song in an anime called Mad Lax. Very obscure anime, by the way. If you guys know it, then you guys are amazing. I am really, really into girls with gun genre. So when I was younger, I used to watch every single girls with gun anime that there was out there, whether it be like a sabage, like a survival game, you know, BB gun anime, whether it be like Ghost in the Shell, or whether it be like Kyokai no Karu no Kyokai, those kind of shows. And then I found out about this trilogy. They're not actually related to each other, but there's a trilogy by a studio called B-Train. This is so old, y'all. If you guys know this, your age is showing. But I did my research. I was like, girls with gun genre anime. And then the first thing that popped up was this B-Train girls with gun genre trilogy. And one of the animes in there is called Madlax. The other two, one of them's called Noir, and another one is called La Casa de la Bruja. And they're both anime. They're all three animes that are they're centered around females who are very good with using guns. And Madlax is a very confusing anime. I don't even know how to begin to describe it, but it made me think a lot, and I really loved the main character because she was such a badass assassin. She has like your vibes. If you really like female assassins like the main character in Madlax, her name is Madlax, will really fill that void as well, because one has amnesia, two is just like super badass and really good with guns. Yes, El Casa de la Bruja. Yes, we're girls. Wait, Green knows Madlax? You guys. You guys, I'm so happy. Please go watch the B-Train Girls with Gun trilogy if you have time. It's not for everybody, I will say that, okay? The art style is very old. It's definitely very 2000s art style. But like I said, if you're really into the Girls with Gun genre, you're gonna like it. Because Gunslinger Girl was fantastic, and then those were fantastic. I also really liked Hachiko to Michin. That was really good as well. I don't know if it had like guns in it, but it was about like two female leads going on a journey, and that was really good as well. Very underrated, by the way. So if people had asked me, like, what is a super underrated anime? In the back of my mind, I really like stories that have like an adventure vibe and almost like an international, like they're crossing borders kind of vibe, and they're almost escaping, like they're fugitives. So Hachiko to Michin is one of them. Also, Great Pretender is a really good one. It's about heists. If you guys like heist movies, Great Pretender is a really good anime. Okay, but where to watch? Wherever you would like to watch it, Bintang. I'm not gonna tell you where you should watch it. It's just wherever you can watch it, okay? Great Pretenders is so good. First season, much better. Second season was like, But that last heist at the very end, I was like, this is crazy. This is so dumb. No way this would actually really happen in real life for that last heist that they did. Because, low-key spoiler, all right? But the second season, it's not really the second season, it's more like the second half of the whole series, was essentially just telling you or revealing that the first half of the series was in itself an elaborate heist. So it's like a heist they were doing all these mini heists that in the end was part of the bigger heist at the end. You know what I'm talking about? Everything was just one big heist. I was like, what the heck is this? This is so crazy. Heistception, I know. So, very fun anime. If you like the Ocean series, which I do, then you'll definitely enjoy that too. Oh my gosh, the second half of the series too. I really appreciate how they got real actors who speak the language to voice act. Okay, that was my favorite part. One of my favorite parts of the entire series. Like, they didn't just get the same voice actor to speak English in a really crappy accent. They got an actual other voice actor to speak in English, and it was perfect English. And then the second half of the series, it's half set in like China. So like half of the dialogue is actually in Mandarin. And they got real Mandarin speakers to speak it. And it's like all accurate. And I was like, what is this? This is so cool. This makes me feel like I'm watching a real life movie, not an anime. It's fantastic. Okay, I would go on and on about Great Pretender, but please just go watch it, okay? I'm just fangirling a little bit right now. Yeah. So what else? Oh yes, I also didn't talk much about my favorite K-pop groups. But I do hope that one day I can cover a K-pop song. That'd be my dream. My Korean is really bad. I also don't really know how to pronounce or read the Korean version of the English transliterations. I don't know what it's called when, you know how like in Japanese when when they translate it into like an English version, it's called what's it called? Romaji? I don't know what that version of it I don't know what the Korean version of that is. So it's like the Korean romaji, basically. I find it really difficult because it's not as intuitive as Japanese, because there are a lot of different vowels and mouth sounds that are very nuanced in Korean. But I like to think that I'm very good at imitating people's accents and in different languages. And some people say that I do have a very good Korean accent when I try to speak it. So hopefully my accent will not be too embarrassing if I try to sing a K-pop song. Or I could just sing a K-pop song in Japanese, because I know a lot of them do sing in Japanese. Yeah. Hangul. Oh, Hangul. Okay. So it's called Hangul. Ah, interesting. I've been watching a lot of these like Korean language shorts on I'm very old. I still use Facebook. On my Facebook/Instagram. And there are people who like teach you how to speak Korean or certain words in Korean. And there's this guy who like raps. There's a Japanese version of it too, where they're like how to say like don't do it in Korean. And then there's like a trap beat in the back. And then they're like, don't do it. Hajima, can't, hajima. And then they kind of just like say the words, and it's like a rap, and it's really, really catchy. And that way you can actually learn the language in a fairly fun way. So I've been watching these language learning rap videos. It's so cringe. Then speaking of my favorite artists, if I could name my favorite K-pop group from this list that's down here, I would actually pick Dreamcatcher. And I know they're very, I would not say underrated, but they're kind of like under the radar, not as popular as like New Jeans or Twice or IU or Blackpink and ITZY, like all the other ones. Dreamcatcher is like the least popular one on my list, but I love their style of music. You guys don't even know. I freaking love their style of like rock music. It's almost like a metal rock anime fusion. And their music makes me feel so hype. So please go take a listen to Dreamcatcher if you can. And if you listen to it, you realize where I get the inspiration for my lore song. I really want to watch a Dreamcatcher concert one day. It'll be my dream. Yeah. They're more popular outside of Korea. Yeah, I think so. Well, hopefully I can catch a concert if they come by into my world. And going back to it, my favorite food. Okay, I know you guys were guessing popcorn, gummy bears, gummy worms. What else were people asking? They said like rats or something, my favorite food. Sure, those are all very valid points, and they're valid answers. I do like those things. But like I said, my all-time favorite thing in the entire world, my favorite consumable object is a strawberry milkshake, specifically from McDonald's. Now, my dream is to one day get an unlimited supply of strawberry milkshakes from McDonald's. I forgot to add that on my goals. I actually one day want to get sponsored by McDonald's because I love McDonald's french fries and I love McDonald's milkshakes. And I love the combination of the milkshakes and the french fries because I always dip my fries in my milkshake. I am that girl, yes. That is the best combination. So one day, if I can get a lifetime supply of those two things, then I will die happy. Dipping fries in the milkshake is the best combo. Off collab to buy one of every milkshake and way too many fries. We might do that. I might do like a milkshake tasting test. I really, really want to have a milkshake. Maybe on my birthday. I could treat myself to all the milkshakes in the world. McDonald's, sorry, yes, I meant McDonald's. I want them to sponsor me to have unlimited. Essentially, I just want my own McDonald's milkshake maker in my house. Would that be so hard to ask? I could just probably buy it off them, right? And then just ask them to ship me the ingredients and I just plop it in there and then I'll have strawberry milkshake on tap. My life will be complete. As long as it doesn't break, don't worry about it. I'll keep it very spick and span. We are in a clinical environment here. Imagine like going into surgery and you just having a milkshake machine on tap for when you go take your breaks in surgery. Just me, just, you know, owlthy in the surgical room, and then I'm like, you know, cutting into the tissue, and I'm like, nurse, get me a milkshake. And then they just go to the side and grab and just pour the milkshake into the cup, get my little crazy straw, just stick the crazy straw through my mask as I'm sucking the milkshake and performing surgery at the same time. Or I step back a little bit, and because my hands are sterile and I can't touch anything else, the nurse puts the straw in my mouth and I suck the thick milkshake from the straw and I go, delicious milkshake. But you know, those milkshakes are quite thick, so you do have to have a very strong sucking power. Do you guys realize that like milkshakes are actually really, really hard to suck out of a straw? Whether you get them from anywhere, like Five Guys milkshake or Shake Shack milkshake, or McDonald's milkshake, I realize that they're not easy to suck, and they take a lot of muscle. I get tired after sucking on the straws for a really long time. Right? Don't you guys get tired sometimes? I guess I have to like kind of, okay, that sounds like really wrong. But I do drink a lot of milkshakes, so I feel like I have a very strong jaw. I have very strong jaw muscles. I don't want to say I have very strong sucking muscles. Wait, what are the sucking muscles though? Let me Google this. I'm curious. What are the muscles used to suck? The buccinator muscle is a facial muscle in the cheek that is used for sucking. It's one of the first muscles a newborn can use to suckle. The buccinator, along with orbicularis, oris, and pharyngeal constrictors, make up the buccinator mechanism, which is important for oral facial functions like sucking, swallowing, chewing, and whistling. If the buccinator or orbicularis oris muscles are weakened or paralyzed, food may accumulate in the mouth while chewing. Okay, so I like to think I have a very strong buccinator muscle because of all of the thick milkshakes I've drank in the past. Anyways, I'm glad I learned something today. Okay, so we're going to muscular cells, and I know you guys wanted a better look at my abs, so here we go. Let me just put everything on the screen so that you could see. All right, I don't know how close I can actually get to the screen, but I do have my little belly bootin. I have a little belly bootin. We're not gonna name my abs today, so we're just gonna call them by their numbers, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do a belly dance. Do a belly dance. Yeah. My abs are happy today. I didn't actually work out today, but tomorrow I will. I'm fit, I know. Thank you. I try to be. And the reason why is because I do all these things here, martial arts, hot yoga, all that sort of stuff, and pretend backflips. It's the mental strength that then translates itself and transmits itself to the physical strength. First, you need to have the mental strength. So if I can pretend to do a backflip, then I will do a backflip. Yes. What are some of my favorite exercises, though? I personally love burpees. I know people freaking hate burpees. I love burpees. I love burpees. I love jumping jacks. I hate mountain climbers. Mountain climbers can go F themselves. And every time somebody in my fitness class or whatever, or my fitness instructor goes, all right, we're gonna do some mountain climbers, I'm literally swearing them off so bad. Like, I want to kill them for doing that. I hate mountain climbers. But I don't like crunches because it's hard on my neck. But I do like Russian twists, and I love side planks. I'm very good at side planks. If I could probably be very close to holding a side plank for, I was on the longest I've held a side plank for. I definitely over 5 minutes, which is not that long, but yeah, I should test myself to see how long I could hold a side plank for. But I realized that I'm actually quite strong in side planks because whenever I'm in my Pilates class and we're holding side planks, I I'm always like the last one standing. So side planks are my favorite. Yeah. You like mountain climbers. You can, yeah. You like pain. I can see. You are a masochist. Yeah. And so I want to tell you guys what kind of games I'm actually going to be playing in the future. So Trauma Team New Blood is going to be the first game I'm going to play. But I actually want to start an not an RPG Maker game, but there's this one visual novel type game. Have you guys heard of it? It's called Class of '09. And I thought it was the most hilarious thing from the trailer. There's like... Have you heard of it? Have you seen it? Have you seen people play it? It's so funny. It's very not safe for work. Okay, but like, when are we ever safe for work? My workplace is never safe, so we're always not safe for work, all right? So we can play the game. No, what is it about? It's about the Class of '09. We're basically going to be transporting yourself back to 2009 when you were in high school or middle school or whatever. And just living your life like a visual novel. It's a really, really fun visual novel. It's like your alternate account. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. Who's gonna stop me? Has anyone played this game before and actually gotten suspended? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. We're gonna take lots of risks. We're gonna take lots of risks this time, my friends. If anything happens, at least I'm the only one who's gonna get in trouble for it and no one else, okay? And I don't really mind if I get in trouble, because I don't want to get anybody else involved in my mishaps. So don't worry about me. Don't worry about YouTube bonking me. I've been bonked many times already. Yeah. I've only seen videos uploaded. I don't think I've seen anyone stream it. Oh god. Well. I guess I'll be the first one. Yay. We're living Mean Girl dreams. Hey, I really liked Mean Girl the musical. Okay, and Legally Blonde the musical. So I'm going for those vibes. I'm going for the very typical high school Mean Girl vibe when I play those games. Yeah, you're welcome to try. You've seen multiple people stream it. Did they get in trouble, Gio? Let me know. Tell me in Discord. And then I really want to get back into playing Honkai Impact 3rd. I was able to retrieve my account, by the way, and all of my Valkyries are there still. Yay! But the last time I actually touched that game was over a year ago, so I have like old Valkyries. But when I looked at my receipt, my invoice on how much I spent, I honestly think it was a freaking impulse buy, okay? Honkai Impact 3rd, when I played it, I was addicted to it. And then I impulse bought so many credits just to buy one Valkyrie. I think I spent the equivalent of $200 the second day that I started playing Honkai Impact 3rd. Yeah. Yeah. That's how much I spent on the second day. $200 on credits. Just to get him on Valkyrie. I really wanted the pink one, okay? She was pretty. And then, yeah, this is why they gave me my account back, because I had a lot of proof of how much money I spent on that game, so... You gotta know which wife... What if it wasn't even that hard of a waifu to get? Then I would have been pissed, man. I would have been pissed. Alright, 200 is small fry. Exactly. $200 is like how much I earn in like 4 hours. Minus taxes. So I just need to work some extra overtime and I'll be okay. Did you at least get the weapon as well when you... I don't really know, Milky. What weapons? They're weapons? People gotcha weapons? I just gotcha the girls. Who cares about the weapons? It's the girls we're talking about. Come on. I'm sure it's tax deductible 100%. Putting this down as part of my streaming capital. This is my job. The income that I make from streaming, I actually have to declare in taxes. Well, it depends how much I actually earn, but then I can actually put all this as tax deductible, right? I need the power of weapons for my ranking. I don't even know what my ranking is, so don't even ask me about that. We're gonna have to open the game together and go through everything together again, because I literally have not opened the game since last year. But I know it works now. I also have a very elaborate gaming setup. I say elaborate. It just means I have my Switch, my Nintendo Switch, and I have my Wii U. So I can play games on both of those consoles. I have games on my Wii, and I have games on my Switch. I actually have a bunch of old Wii games that I managed to snag from a closing GameStop. I remember I was in a shopping mall with my little sister, and every time we go to a shopping mall, we love to go to a GameStop or like a plushie store or something, just to see what's there, right? And that GameStop just so happened to be closing down, and the lady was like, all of those Wii games in that box there, free. Take them. Take them all. So I took the whole box of old Wii games, and man, are they old. They had like the Tony Hawk game in there. I found the Guardians of Ga'Hoole Wii game in there. I had like 2 versions of the B-movie Wii game there. I'm so excited to be playing all these old Wii games with you guys. Which Switch games do I have? I mean, I have Breath of the Wild. I have like the Mario games, Mario Brother games. I have what else do I have? Actually, my Switch is here. I'm gonna take it out. I have Overcooked. That's like a good collab game. I have Katamari, but I also got Katamari on my PC. I have Ring Fit. I have the Taiko game. So if I ever do play like an unarchived Taiko no Tatsujin game, then definitely I will be using my Switch because I have that. And I actually have the Taiko drum as well, because I remember you guys gifted the Taiko drum for me a while back, so I'm definitely gonna play Taiko no Tatsujin with the real drum. I have Splatoon, I have Cave Story, I have Ultimate Chicken Horse. I have this game called Dead Day Dallas. Looks very interesting. I played Angels of Death. That was really fun. I have Octopath Traveler. Yes, one of my favorite games, Octopath. I forgot to add that in my favorite games. I have 911 Operator. I have Animal Crossing. I have, and then I have a bunch of these RPG Maker horror games that are very underrated, like Viviette I have, and I have this one called Anodyne as well. I have Kukiyomi. Yeah, so those are just some of the games that I have. Interested in trying out Octopath Traveler 2. I have to finish Octopath Traveler 1 first. I actually haven't finished the game, because you know how Octopath is, you have to play through different characters. I think I've only gotten through like 3 of them. So as much as I loved the actual like UI, the interface and the game, I actually haven't completed it, so I want to finish it first. All right, so, oh yes, so these are my goals. Very straightforward. I hope that one day I do get invited to like a karaoke relay or a anime convention or something, so that I could say hi to you guys. I do have a genuine question though. If I did show up in an anime convention, would you guys say hi to me? Do you think I'd be popular enough for people to actually want to come say hi? Because part of me is like, maybe nobody really wants to see me, or like, maybe nobody really cares about me, that kind of thing, you know? Absolutely. Would you book the next ticket out of there just to go see me? Really? Okay. And then I'll work really, really hard to try and make that happen for you guys, okay? I also want to raise funds so that I can get 3D gear, because I see all of my friends starting their 3D journeys, and I think it's so fun and so cool because there's so many cool things I can do with 3D. You're literally gonna see me put my leg over my head because I can't wait to do the splits when I'm 3D. I can't wait to show you all my acrobatic skills. I'm about to do a handstand. Andre, the first thing I do if I ever become 3D is do a handstand. I promise you that if I ever become 3D one day, the first thing I will do is a handstand and a no-handed cartwheel. Yes. Looking forward to it. Yeah. And, oh, you'd make the trip just to wave hi? That's so sweet. I would do more than wave hi. I would say a lot of lovely things to you and give you virtual hugs and virtual kisses. Will you pretend to do a backflip during 3D debut, though? Yes. 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 Just watch me. Or I'll just practice how to do a backflip starting now. Maybe I'll do a real backflip by the time I'm 3D. And then I'm very interested in selling merch in the future, although I don't really know where to start with that sort of thing. I know that I have to find a very reputable like a merchandise company to help me sell merch. So I have to do my research to see which platform I can actually sell my merchandise in and which art I can use. But if it's basic things like stickers and standees and keychains, then yes, I can definitely do that. But trying to get more complex things like band-aids and first aid kits are something I'm gonna have to do more research on. But I have found a couple of websites that are promising. I just don't know if they will sell merch directly to you, or if it's something like I would have to order them for myself. Like I would have to pre-order like 100 of them, and then I would sell them on like my website that I would create, and then I would ship them out myself. Not in itself, that takes a lot of time, so gonna have to be very patient about that. Yeah. I know a lot of people have issues with merchandise selling, especially VTubers in the last year or so I have to be very careful with who I trust with this sort of thing. Yeah. And my dream of holding my large-scale crab game collab is still there with all my friendos. One day. Digital merch? I'm interested. Are you guys interested? Would you guys be willing to purchase like sound audio for me, or like if I did more Athy wake up alarms, or if I did like roleplay kind of stuff, like audio dramas, DVDs, and that sort of things. Like voice packs, yes, that's what it is. Yeah? Okay. I'll consider, because I actually have art. I have art that I've commissioned for audio packs and voice packs, audio drama things. So that when I release them, you guys also have special art accompanying it. And I'm actually really proud of my, I wouldn't say voice acting, but my like editing. Because if you guys watched my lore introduction video with the spoken parts, I actually did all of the audio editing for that. So the voice acting obviously is me, and then I got one of my friends to voice act the little cat girl. But all of the sound effects, all of the background music, except one track, were actually composed by me. So the beginning track with the piano and the ending track with the guitar were actually recorded by myself because I couldn't find any BGM that really suited the mood, so I just decided to make my own. And the only one in the middle was something I got from Dova, and then everything else I put together on my own. Yeah, so I'm really interested in like ADR, which is kind of like the directing, like the audio directing. I think it's called ADR, right? Let me see. It's an automated dialogue replacement post-production process. So yeah, I'm really interested in the post-production of voice acting and editing everything together. So I'm very proud of it, actually. I was gonna ask, I was like, I knew you had range, but I didn't know you could do the cat girls. No. I asked somebody to do that for me, yeah. Have I tried ASMR? I have before, but I don't have an ASMR microphone. Though I would be willing to do it because I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy listening to my voice a lot, so I feel like you guys would enjoy listening to it too. Some people say I have a very soothing voice, even at work. When I introduce myself or when I talk to my patients, I have to be very quiet. And this is not necessarily the voice I use at work. I actually speak a lot quieter and I have a lot more inflection in my voice because I have to sound like I'm, a nice person, that I'm trying to help you. And also most of my patients are children. So I have to be like, let's say, okay, random kid's name, like Sally. Hey Sally, how are you today? Oh, are you, is it hurting? I'm basically Miss Rachel, okay? I don't know if you guys have ever watched like the Miss Rachel videos, but I'm like, oh, is this anywhere hurt? Is your tummy hurt? Is it hard to breathe? Something like that, where I'm basically like coddling mommy voice. Do you want some stickers? Look, I have some Bluey stickers. We're gonna put some stickers on your chest and then we're gonna see your heart. Here's my stethoscope. Do you wanna listen to my heart? Look, put it on. It has a little tiger on it. And what is this? And then I show them my badge. Do you like my badge? It has a little bear. By the way, the little owl clip badge that I have broke the other day. So I had to replace it, but I have this really cool one that is like a bear badge that has a light attached to the badge itself. So I don't have to actually have a separate light. So it's a badge light. Yeah. So it's really, really, really cool. Not the owl badge. I know, I'm really sad. It just like fell off one day and then I was like, I can't put it back together. So I decided to get one that my coworker had. And man, the kids love the badge. They love the owl badge too. It's a really, really cool conversation starter whenever, oh my gosh, okay, I'm gonna tell you guys the story of one patient I have really, really quickly. I know it's technically not supposed to be like a full Zatsudan stream because I'm doing like a debut 2.0, but why not? I have all the time in the world, right? So a couple of weeks ago, I actually took care of a patient in the ICU. And he was there for quite a long time, actually. He was very sick with sickle cell pain. And I walked in and I remember taking care of him like a few months ago. And I was like, oh, weren't you here before? And Mom's like, yeah. We were here before. And I was like, I remember you guys. I didn't really get to like chat with you much. And because he was my only patient that night, I basically spent half my shift in their room just chatting with Mom and him. I kid you not, 6 hours was spent in their room chatting. And I got to know everything about them and they got to know everything about me. And I remember they commented on my owl badge. And they were like, is that an owl on your badge? That's so cute, we love owls. I was like, I love owls too. I'm an owl, basically. And they were like, we really like bird watching, and bird watching is one of his hobbies. And I was like, yeah, that's so cool. Have you guys ever seen an owl before? And they're like, no, but we know that there are owls around and blah, 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 blah. So we got into this conversation about birds and bird watching. And then we got into this conversation about how birds represent like freedom, and sometimes like birds will come to you, and apparently my patient's like the bird whisperer because birds just like gravitate towards them. And they were telling me how they believe that birds actually harbor like the dead spirits of your loved ones or even people. So perhaps the birds are gravitated towards him because, you know, he's a kind soul or a kind spirit, and they're all of these like dead souls who just like gravitate towards you, or maybe your loved ones are just embodied in the body of a bird, like embodied in a bird's actual like form. So we got into like very spiritual conversations, and then our conversation turned into anime because I found out that they're both my patient and his mom are avid anime watchers. Oh, bye, guy. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day. They're super big fan. If not, they're weebs. They are freaking weebs like me. So we got into this very, very long conversation about which animes we like to watch. You know, they watched a lot of stuff. They look like Demon Slayer. They like One Piece. We were talking about Tokyo Revengers. They really like Tokyo Revengers. Him and mom, by the way. Because I remember when I was taking care of him last year, I was walking into his room and he had set up like a mini theater and he was watching Tokyo Revengers. And I was like, oh, is that Tokyo Revengers? And he was like, yeah, how do you know? And I'm like, I've seen clips of it. But at that point, I had not watched Tokyo Revengers. So they were like, you should watch it. So then they were asking me like, oh, what are some good animes that you recommend? Because they knew I watched a lot of anime. And I was like, what kind of genre do you like? Do you like horror? Do you like gore? And they're like, yeah, we like horror, like psychological thriller, gore. So then I was like, if you want like bloody killy kind of vibes, and then I was like, Elfen Lied, Akame ga Kill, Blood Sea. I was just like naming all of like the classic gore ones. They're like, okay, we're gonna go check it out. And it was so funny because this kid was like not even 16 and his mom was like, yeah, we're gonna go watch those anime. I was like, that's the coolest mom in the freaking world. She was letting her like, well, obviously we were all watching gory anime at that age, but she just lets her son watch that stuff, like doesn't even bat an eye. It was the cool mom vibes for real. Yeah. And then we got in, and then we kind of ended our conversation with her being like, is there anything that we can do to advocate for nurses? Because they're part of like a family council, like a hospital family council. So they do like monthly meetings to see if they could change anything about like the hospital system or the care system. Because their kids are like chronic kids, they always come to the hospital. So I was like, you know, obviously staffing us better is a great thing, but I feel like we should definitely be renovating our rooms because our rooms are old AF. They're very, very old, our rooms. Very cramped, very small, and all our equipment is kind of outdated. So I was hoping that we could get new things and new supplies to just make our lives a lot easier. Because the hospital that I work for here in this new isekai world is not like the most modern. It's not the most advanced. If anything, a lot of the decor and the architecture is very reminiscent of like the 1960s. You will go to like a random floor and it's completely abandoned and the wallpaper literally looks like it's something from The Shining. I kid you not. It's like dark green wallpaper everywhere. And that is my hospital. It is old. So I was like, maybe if we had new supplies, it'd be great because then we wouldn't have to be making makeshift supplies for ourselves all the time. Right? You're literally just making a chest percussor out of tape and a syringe and an ambu bag mask, right? We have to tape things together to make our own supplies because we don't have new ones. Yeah. I'm working at the TVA, exactly. Right. It looks like the TVA. Yeah. Oh yeah, Mirai Nikki was a really good one. I think I recommended that one as well. I also told them they should watch School Days, but I realized I was like, School Days is also really gory, but only at the end. And just be careful because there are like R-rated scenes in there. And then mom was like, that's fine. We're already used to like all the ecchi anime with the boobies and panties and stuff. And I was like, okay, I trust you. Use your discretion when watching School Days. And I hope they find the TV version and not like the actual H version of School Days, because the H version of School Days, there is an H, there is an H version of School Days. A lot of people just don't know because the version that aired on TV didn't have any of like the henty scenes. But yes, I want them to be very good. They're very traumatizing. Nice boat. Nice boat. Yes. TV version has a nice boat. Right, exactly. Like I know there are TV versions that aired of a lot of like ecchi animes out there, or low-key hentai animes out there. Like Yosugo no Sora was aired on TV, Ishizoku Reviewers, School Days. What else was aired on TV? I think like Akisora was also aired on TV. That's an OVA though. Not me just naming all of the things I know. I didn't watch any of those. Am I cultured? Yes, I'm very cultured. Trust me, I know more than you think. Wait, what else was aired? And if you think that High School DxD is like the most ecchi thing I've ever watched, you're sadly wrong. Back in the days when Kiss X Sis was all the rage, I remember in my homeroom, not me, my friends specifically, were very horny and liked to watch things. Yes. So I would just be walking in the classroom at break, and all of a sudden I see Kiss X Sis on their laptop. And it's because I went to a school where everybody had MacBooks, okay? It was a requirement. And it was a requirement in our school. I went to a very preppy Hogwartsy school. And so at lunch break, I'd just be walking in, and all of a sudden I see just like straight up. And then I just like see it straight up Wincest. Right. Incest is Wincest. And then and then what else were they watching? So that was one, but it's not like that bad. I don't think it was that bad. People were watching Yosugo no Sora. I know my friend introduced me to that one. Then they were like reading just like straight up manga. Like straight up full-blown R-rated manga. Yeah, that's what I remember. It's a very, very big, it's a blur. It is a memory, but I just remember Kiss X. Oh, here, and a lot of yaoi. Oh my god. My friends, especially the females, obviously, were super into the yaoi henties. I have a very, very vivid memory of when I was in middle school. And I used to live in like the mountains, and we had a very small community of people just living there. And so we would always go to this one playground. And it was essentially, we were like a club, right? We were just like a club of kids. It's kind of like Anohana vibes, where it's like the same group of kids always hanging out and playing in the same place. So we would always meet up at this playground at night. And I remember this one girl, she brought her phone, and we were underneath the playground thing. We were just sitting there because it was like a hot day or whatever. She was like, Athy, I want to show you this really cool yaoi anime that I started watching. Do you like yaoi? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I've watched some yaoi, and I like, you know, I don't hate the genre. I've watched like, you know, like, what do you call it? What was that one anime? I can't remember, but there are like a lot of yaoi animes that I've watched. Not like full-blown R-rated ones though. So she's like, yeah, there's this really good one. It's called Okane ga Nai. I'm like, oh, what's it about? She's like, oh my god, it's so cute. Little did I know, it was like very, 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 very controversial. Anyway, she's like, so here's like a scene. So for some reason, she had downloaded just episodes of that anime on her phone. Or maybe she was playing it on YouTube or something when YouTube still allowed those kind of things. So then she's just showing me on the playground the scene in Okane ga Nai where they're doing it. And I'm like, holy rock. This is straight up like, huh? Okay, so you guys are gonna, I don't even know how to describe it. It has like the Boku no Pico vibes, but not really. Because the guy is like much older than the younger one, and he essentially did buy him. So it is like that kind of transaction, because the whole thing, Okane ga Nai, means I don't have money. So then the guy, like the younger person, is actually bought because he has no money, right? By a guy, and is being used, right? For his body. And so I was like, oh, what am I watching? She's like, oh my god, it's so hot, these scenes. I'm like, girl. You know what? She's doing okay now. She's doing completely fine now. several years ago, so don't worry about it. Yeah. Unheard vibes, but we go watch yaoi. I mean, like the Junjo Romantica vibes, right? Everybody loved Junjo Romantica. We love our long, skinny, chin-necked yaoi boys. I mean, chin-necked, triangle chin yaoi boys. That was all the rage. Killing Stalking type beat? Not really. Killing Stalking didn't come out until like a few years later, but yes, I do remember her specifically also introducing me to Killing Stalking again, because she was really into that too. She was just my gateway into all of the yaoi stuff. So yum. Yaoi or yuri, take your pick. Both. You can't. I like both. You can't like not. You can't just choose one. At least for me. Yaoi genre, yuri genre. I'm open to all of them. That name sounds familiar. Oof. If you've heard of it before, just don't bother searching it up. It's not worth your time to watch, really. But some of my favorite yuri anime out there, like Yuriguma Arashi, was a really good one. You guys should definitely check that out. Anyways, or if we're talking about like more like hardcore stuff, you can like talk about like real like yuri. Maybe in another time. I don't know if you guys have seen those titles before. I'll just name one. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. So yes, friends have also introduced me to yuri genres. Not just the yaoi genre. Okay, so my friend introduced me to like the Killing Stalking, to the Okanaganai, to the Junjo Romanticas. And then on the other hand, the yuris. So we had like, I think the only yuri that we really watched, or they really watched, was like Shoujo Sect, I think. And that's pretty much it. I don't really remember anything else. All of the other ones were just regular anime, but not like henty ones. Yeah, mostly girls loves. Oof, Citrus is so good. Okay, Citrus is so toxic. It's like a really controversial and questionable plot, but it's so good. Some people hate Citrus because the plot is really, it's problematic, I want to say. I just say it's a problematic story. All right? It's a problematic storyline. But can I say I've never simped so hard for two girl characters in my entire life. They're both so cute. They're both so cute. And I really ship them together, but they are so broken. It's like the Kuzuno Honkai vibe. Yes, exactly. You know what I'm talking about. Kuzuno Honkai, Citrus. Sakura Trick is very, it's innocent. Don't group Sakura Trick with Kuzuno Honkai and Citrus. What else? Domestic Kanajo, beautiful stuff. Good night, Envy. Have a wonderful evening. Toxic Yuri. I know. The best genre is Toxic Yuri. But why are they both so hot? Just, if you're gonna make a show problematic, don't make your characters look so hot. It's like the Killing Stalking dilemma where it's like, oh my god, this plot is not okay. But the characters are so pretty. Like, you can't just not like it, right? Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking before I get myself in trouble. Okay, lastly, you know what I realized I haven't even dissected myself, but I want to just go through real quick again, like all of the people who helped with my debut. Big thank you to everybody. Thank you so much for working so hard. You deserve all of the love, all the recognition. So please, if you haven't checked them out, go do that right now. And the same thing for my lore MV. Nekonat was the MV editor, and obviously Static P was the one who did the arrangement. Thank you so much, you guys, for doing all of that for me and making one of my biggest dreams come true. And obviously Tortado Papa, he does everything. He He's like the only person I can rely on things like this. I'm so lucky, beyond lucky to have a papa like Turt. And look at me, I'm so beautiful. You made me very beautiful. I have a beautiful papa, so I'm a beautiful child. Yeah, Turt is just so cracked in what he does. Mm-hmm. If you guys are curious on how I wrote the song with Static P, essentially I just sent like a, well, I sent like a little demo to Static, and because I don't play the electric guitar really well and I'm not really well versed in arranging for like rock instrumentals, I thought I should ask Static because I know he has experience in that sort of thing. But I actually, when I sent him the first draft of the lore song, I played the electric guitar in it. And then he was like, I think you should just play the electric guitar. It's like really good. And I'm like, no, this was the first time I even touched my electric guitar in God knows how long. And I just winged it. Literally winged it. No pun intended. And he was like, no, you should play the electric guitar. I was like, no, never in a million years. But it started out with like a piano sketch. I always write my songs with like piano instrumental first with the chords, and then I write my lyrics and sing on top of it. And then I'll add instruments on top, like a guitar or a drum. So I just took kind of samples from Logic as I was working using Logic at that time. And yeah, basically said to him, I was like, can you do something with this? Can you make this into like a full-fledged instrumental for me? And he was like, sure. And then he did so well and went above and beyond what I had hoped for. So it was the biggest treat. Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can actually find that original sample file. It'd be really cute to listen to it again. I'll go into like my lore song in some more depth, maybe during the songwriting stream, because it kind of ties into that. Oh, actually, I could show you during my songwriting stream because I'm going to be opening my Logic files anyway. That sounds good. Sounds perfect. All right, let's get to the actual... Oh, wow. I talked for like almost 2 hours and I didn't even get to the main event. But it's good. We're going to end with this. We're going to end with something really, really fun. Do I have your attention, everybody? We're going to go into surgery. Very, very late night surgery. It's currently 11 p.m. And tonight we are going to be dissecting owlthy. We're going to be dissecting a VTuber. We're going to see exactly what is inside the mind of an owlthy. So let's head to the surgical suite right now. Everybody get ready and scrub up. Wash your hands especially under your fingernails. They're really nasty. Yeah, take a bath. Y'all are stinky. You guys making me sneeze. Y'all stinky. Go take a shower. Meet me in the surgical suite. Y'all are very dusty, that's why. Oh. You guys are ready? Okay, so we have a cloned version of me here. Nah. Let's get dissecting. It gets me so excited. Gets me so excited when I get to dissect. When I get to get into the things. Yes. Where's my scalpel? There it is. Alright, Scalpel-chan. Scalpel-chan, where are we gonna start? Excuse me, thank you for the bless yous. Alright, we're gonna go from head to toe, like we do with a head to toe assessment. I like to start neurological. So let's start in the brain. Let's go dissect owlthy's brain. What's up here? Oh, yo. It looks like this is in my brain. Oh. Of course. Of course this is in my brain. My mental state. It's the same thing as the Elmo with fire. This is fine. Everything is fine. In fact, I actually have a Lego set of this meme that I ordered on Temu for $30. And I can't wait to build it with you guys. This has to be my favorite meme of all time. It's so cute. I bought the Lego version of it. So, look forward to that. Next up, we're gonna dissect my heart, okay? Usually it starts neurological, and then it goes cardiovascular. So we're gonna do a midline incision right here. Oh, yo, what's in my heart? Hello? Pizza Rat, my beloved! Of course! How could I forget about him? My one and true love. I keep him close to my heart always. Oh, and I forget to add, but Slendy is there too. Somewhere in the back. But my first heart always belongs to Pizza Rat. Best boy, Pizza Rat. Oh. Someone was actually asking me, is your favorite food rats? That's a dilemma. Because I love Pizza Rat, but I also love the concept of eating rats. But if I eat rats, it makes me sad. Because I love them so much. Yeah? Do you ever get that feeling that you really want to eat something because you love something so much? Like, sometimes with you guys. Like, I really love you guys so much. Right? Like this, I love you this much. And I just want to eat you. Just want to nibble all your little bits. Right off. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. No yandere time. Not yet. Not yet. You don't taste good. Well, you guys are a little stinky. I kind of sneezed because you guys are a little dusty. So make sure you take good showers. And don't worry, I'll clean you guys very, very well before I feast on you. Make sure you take double showers with the triple CHG bath. Yeah. Instead of kisses, owl pecks. What about owl noms? Nom 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 nom. Do I produce bone pellets? I'm gonna say yes. Yes. I shall not shower to avoid being... Those who do not shower are not permitted in these premises. All right? I will stick a big sign outside my door. If you don't shower, you cannot step or be within 100 meters. Oh no, 100 meters. You cannot be 10 meters within 10 meters of this compound. We do not want the stinky people in here. We are clean. We are hygienic. We are sterile. Stink-free zone. I will kick you out as soon as you come here. I'll create a stinkometer. You guys have to get assessed every time you come in. How much funk is funking out of you. All right. Next, we're moving on to my lungs. What's going on in my lungs? I'm gonna do what do we usually do when we dissect the lungs? Do we do like a midline incision here against the sternum? I guess so. Yeah, it's copium. Yes, because this is exactly what I need to survive. From the very moment of my debut up until now, I've been surviving off copium. It is the air that I breathe. Much better than your funky smell, okay? So take a shower so that I can stop smelling the copium and start smelling the real air. The night outlets better not be stinky. You better not let me down. There's an image that we have to uphold, all right? Or else I'm gonna lose, or else the freaking FDA or whatever people are gonna come and they're gonna give me like an F rating on my hygiene. They're gonna shut me down. There's rats here. There's stinky people. I'm gonna be shut down by the Food and Health Administration. Food and what? FDA. Food and Drug Administration. The health inspector is gonna shut me down. That's what I was trying to say. Is copium flammable? Only if you want it to be. Because the copium is your cope. It's what you're coping with. So if you want the copium to explode, because that is one way that you're gonna just cope, is to spontaneously combust yourself, then yes, copium will spontaneously combust. It is explosive when you want it to be. Next up, we're going to dissect my tummy tums. What's inside my tummies? Is my midnight snack. My worm bog. Mimi. My worm dog. I must have accidentally ate him. But it's okay. He'll come right out the other side. Right? But it was an accident. He reminded me of a gummy worm. I must have mistaken him as a gummy worm. Don't worry. He came right out. Look, he's here. He lives. Chat, would you love me if I was a worm? Well, Kleesky, I would love you so much if you were a worm. I love you so much that I'd want to eat you. That I want to eat you alive. That's how much I love you if you were a worm. Yes. Yes. Come here, Mimi-kun. You deserve a special spot up here, on top of my telemetry monitor. Alright, next up, we're going to dissect a very sensitive part of my body. So we went neurological, cardiovascular, respiratory, gastrointestinal. Now we're going to I don't even know. I can't say it. Genitourinary. I can't say it. Genitourinary area. GIGU. GI stands for gastrointestinal. GU stands for genitourinary. I am going to dissect my genitourinary area. What's inside? Ah! I knew it. I knew it. There was cranberry juice inside my bladder. Would you guys like to try a swig of fresh cranberry juice straight from the source? Straight from the source. Don't question the color. It just oxidized. This is made of real cranberries. Yes, I pee cranberry juice sometimes. You want to get rid of your UTI? You want to prevent your UTI? And then buy cranberry juice. Only 100 million simoleons per gallon. Is it chilled? I think it's a little warm when it comes out fresh. Yeah. You probably have to put it in the fridge or get a couple of ice cubes. Yeah. I apologize. It's just been sitting in my trunk for too long. You want to cause the UTI? No! No, Justin, no. I've never gotten a UTI, so I think that's impossible, unfortunately. You can never give me a UTI because I'm made of cranberry juice. And because I am made of cranberry juice, it is impossible for me to get a UTI since it is constantly circulating around my body, destroying any infectious organisms that could be causing a UTI, aka Klebsiella. E. coli and Klebsiella. Now get out of here. Cranbouthy is here to the rescue to destroy you. Pew pew. Don't be sure, Athy. He could always get it. You want my bread? Is what you're saying? You would rather have bread? You're gonna have to wait a little longer. It's really hard to make bread. You really have to knead that dough and let it sit for a really long time. So, bread's not ready yet, my friends. You gotta wait a little longer. I don't have enough yeast. For brewing beer? That's what you meant? So now you want me to produce beer instead of cranberry juice? Okay, sure, whatever. I'll try to figure that out. I don't know if that is possible, but maybe if I somehow rearrange my anatomy or inject a couple of things experimentally into my body, maybe one day my pee will become beer. You know, you can ferment your pee. People have made like toilet wine before, so if people can make toilet wine using their pee, then I'm sure you can make toilet beer. So, not an impossible thing. You just had crab after they come out of your intestine. I'm pretty sure you're halfway there to making beer somehow. But I feel like cranberry juice is closer to wine because, you know, grapes, cranberries, they kind of look the same. Yeah. We have the technology. As long as the beer doesn't end up as lemon juice. It might be a little sour in the beginning, but you'll get acquired to the taste soon enough. All right, last one. I like to, the final stage of my head to toe assessment I usually do is skin. So it goes neuro, cardiovascular, respiratory, GI, GU, and then we're going to skin me from head to toe. Let's see what's inside of my skin. It's my 10-step Korean skincare routine. Wow, look at that. I've got my cucumbers and my tomatoes, or what is that, an onion? And an avocado? Yay! Here's a fun fact. I am very much into skincare, and I have like a 10-step skincare routine. My dermatologist says it's a little much, but it's very therapeutic for me. That explains your perfect skin. I actually do have perfect skin. I feel like I should wash my face a little more because I do get like a very shiny face. But people always comment when I come into work. They're like, Hathy, why is your face so shiny? And I'm like, my Korean skincare routine. I can give you recommendations. Yeah. Wrong side of the skin. Whoops. I've heard of autobrewery syndrome. Your body ferments carbs into ethanol. Yes, that's actually a real thing. I've only heard of it, so I don't really know the details of how it happens. But yes, your body can ferment your own carbs. It is a life-threatening disease. It's like when you have a diabetic coma and your breath has like the fruity smell because of all the ketones that your body is that's in your blood. And ketones have like a fruity smell. So you can smell it in their breath. Yeah. Anyways, that's it for my skin. Put my skin suit back on. I think that's it with the surgery. This corpse is now done. I can now throw it away in the trash. This was a clone, by the way. This cadaver was a clone of me. So I can now throw it in the trash. Pew! Thank you for serving your purpose. Let's go back to the bedroom. Okay. Before I end stream, I just wanted to show you guys the rest of my facial expressions. And I wanted to make it fun so we can do a little bit of role play before we end stream. Right? So these are my kira kira eyes. This is kind of like when I'm feeling like sugoi, or like my idoru eye vibes. When I go Muteki no ega ara doesn't matter ya. Shiritai nothing it's a mysterious. That kind of thing. Or like waku 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 waku. Ooh. Interesting! Fun fact! The fun fact of the day is that your sucking muscles are called their buccal muscles. Say that again with me. Buccal muscles. Buccinator muscles. It's not buccal. Buccinator. Say buccinator, not baconator. You're buccinator. Buccinator equals suck. Suck equals buccinator. This has been an Affy learning lesson. The more you know. Insert rainbow here. Boo 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 boo. Buccinator. Okay, so that's when I'm like very interested in things. I also, for example, when I think back some of the things I say or some of the things I have said in this stream, I cringe and sometimes I just want to die. So I go, man, I really wish I hadn't said that. That really sucked. Or I could be mean and devious. You don't know what I'm cooking up. I could be doing experimental surgery on you soon. You wouldn't even know. I could be giving you a drink spiked with sedatives, and you wouldn't even know. And I'll do an evil laugh. Pair it up with my hato eyes. Hato. And I can really go into the yandere vibes. You'll never leave me, right? My pillows would never leave me. How else am I gonna fall asleep without you? I cannot sleep without a pillow, let alone my pillows. I need you to be there. I need you to be there to be my pillow. Cushion my head. I'll just sew you up into a nice little bag. Stuff you all with the softest of goose downs. Or owl down, owl feathers. And I'll just rest my head upon your very, very soft skin. I mean, very, very soft sack. I mean, very, very soft pillowcase. Yes. Yes. Or I could just be like, ha, I love you guys, hee. You guys are funny. I love it. Yeah. Or I don't know, I could do some like tsundere stuff. I could be like, you like the... No, it's not like I like it. Blah, 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 blah. Overdone. Overused. I'm not a tsundere. You're a tsundere. You guys are tsundere. Baka, 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 ba. Ba. Like in my cover. It's not like I like you kind of vibes. It's not like I like you or anything. I just have this disease that like I like everybody and you just so happen to be somebody, so of course I have to like you, but it doesn't mean that you're special or anything like that. So don't even think about it, okay? It's just because I have this disease and called likenitis, and it just means that I like everybody and I have to say that I like everybody, but it doesn't mean I actually really like anybody, okay? It's a really, really bad disease. I'm too trustworthy and gullible. I get taken advantage of too often. So it's not like I like you, even though I like you. Not really. Yeah, this is you being called a VTuber. It's terminal. We're all diseased. I'm diseased with a VTuber virus. Oh no. I'm never gonna survive. We're all gonna die and just reincarnate into really bad corpos and then die again and then reincarnate as indies and then die again and then reincarnate in another corpo and then die again and then reincarnated as an indie. And then just become a flesh tuber because at that point, you know, whatever. People would pay more money to see flesh, to see real flesh. Right? Hey, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. It's the cycle of life. The cycle of a VTuber. And I'm probably half of my way there. I've done the indie to corpo to indie to God knows what's gonna happen to me in the future. Maybe flesh, but I don't want to be a flesh tuber. That would be too much. This is enough flesh you'll see. This is as much flesh as you will see in my streams. Two-dimensional flesh? Yes. Two-dimensional 3D flesh? Yes. As in 3D cartoon flesh? Yes. 4D flesh? I don't know what that is, but no. We're kind of cutting it off right there. What about the hand cams? The hand cams are actually 2D flesh. We just apply a really high definition filter on it to make it look like it's 3D like real 3D 4D flesh. All right? They're not really real flesh. It's my flesh. I'm a 2D right here on the screen. My hands are 2D on the screen. But we have to put something on it to make it look a little more real. So it's more immersive. Yes. 4D means chat can feel you like you're real. Yes, so exactly. My 4D hands are just because they've been increased in quality. The filter's been applied to it. I kid you not. Instead of putting a filter to downgrade a quality, we're putting a filter to upgrade the quality. So it goes from 2D to 3D. Isn't that so cool? Fleshception. I'm actually 1D, right? I'm actually 0D. I'm actually double Ds. Yeah. Double dang! I'm probably a little more. Am I double D's? I don't even know what my bumble size is. I don't know what my boob size is. Somebody tell me, her papa, what did you make my boob size? That is a good question. I'm gonna have to measure them out. Big enough. I think double D's are pretty big. So I would like to think I'm double D. Double D's nuts. Double D's these butts. Do you have 2 butt cheeks? No. No, okay. All right. You got back pain? Yes. But I don't know if that's because I have big boobs or because I'm just a nurse and I practice really bad body mechanics. I definitely do not bend my knees and I always use my waist to bend down. So that is probably why I have chronic back pain. Probably both. Yeah. Yeah. It's likely the boobs. I don't think so. I don't think I have like the biggest boobs. When you think of like big boobs, you gotta think of like those anime boobs. You gotta think of like High School DxD or like High School of the Dead boobs. Like those boobs that defy all laws of gravity and a bullet can somehow pass through. Those are the boobs that you want. Those are the boobs that are are boobs. Yeah. When you think of boobs, anime boobs, you think of those boobs. Like One Piece characters. Why One Piece though? Why? Damn. Use your legs. I know. It's a very bad habit. I always forget to bend through the hip or something. I don't know what the proper body mechanic is. Yeah. You don't like those oversized ones. It's like a melon on a stick. But okay. That's true. You wouldn't want to have like oversized boobs because you wouldn't want to have chronic back issues. You know, when I was younger, I used to always want to have flat boobs. I don't know. I was just like really into the patanko. I didn't want big boobs. So when my boobs started growing, and this is like a really strange fact about me, when my boobs started growing, I tried to hide them from people because I didn't want people to think I had boobs. So I wouldn't call it like I wouldn't like bind them, but I would kind of like wrap them. Yeah, I kind of did used to bind my boobs a lot when I was younger. And when I was in middle school, I had like the chuuni vibe. I was really into Bleach when I was in middle school, and I really liked Rukia. And in Bleach, Rukia and a lot of like characters in anime, they don't wear bras, right? In the traditional style, they would bind their boobs with like a wrap. It looks like a mummy wrap or a gauze or something. They would just wrap it around. And I used to want to be like Rukia. So I used to wrap my boobs with like a bandage wrap. Because I thought I would be cool like her. So instead of wearing my bras, I just wear a Curlex wrap or a Koban wrap around my breasts, and it would just be like, yeah, I feel cool now. I can finally be a Soul Reaper. Shinigami time. How did that work for the gym? I didn't go to the gym in middle school. I only went to like PE class. That was the only thing. Oh, you mean gym for like gym class? I didn't really have. My boobs were not that big when I was younger. I was like a late bloomer when I was in middle school, so I didn't have to worry about a lot of things kind of like flopping around. But as soon as like even the tiniest little boob came in, I was like, bye! Wrap it up! Hide it from all of my friends. All my friends and family. Okay, that is because of my chunibyo syndrome. I genuinely think it was because I was a chunibyo in middle school that I decided to just wear a wrap around my boobs. To wrap my boobs. Yeah. Are you telling me I'm not a true Soul Reaper? That's a good question. Are you dead though? You need to have died to be a Soul Reaper. So if you're dead, then yeah, maybe you are a Soul Reaper. But if you haven't died yet, I don't think so. Although Ichigo, questionable. Because it happened to him. So unless you're like Ichigo, then maybe yes, you're a Soul Reaper. Anyways, I completely forgot what we were talking about. All right, I was showing you my toggles. Okay. We haven't even finished. You guys haven't even seen me without my jacket on, so I'm gonna take it off for you to see. Take off my sweater. Now you guys can have a better look at me. Do you like my pink pajamas? It's such a cute design. Very airy. The lace gives it like a very light feeling. It's not itchy and scratchy at all. It helps me breathe a little bit. And if you guys are wondering if this black lace area over here is sheer, yes, it is sheer. It is see-through. And so it are the areas over here. They're a little see-through. And if you're curious what's inside this necklace, it depends. I have multiple versions of the same necklace, although I was really stupid and for some reason ended up getting them all in the same color. So I don't remember which is which, but I know I have two of them specifically. One of them can kill a person, so it's like a really strong poison. And another one of them can actually bring someone back to life, but I can't remember which one is which. So you're really gonna have to take a gamble when you end up drinking from this or using this in an emergency situation. It'll either kill a person or it'll save a person. Red pill or blue pill, but they're all blue for some reason. Yeah. You want to ask what's inside this IV bag? Isn't it so cool? There's like little liquid jiggling around in there. You guys want to know what's really in there? Guess. What do you think's in there? What do you want to be in there? That's my question. What do you guys want to be inside my IV bag? Cranberry juice? I think it's a little too pink to be cranberry juice. Strawberry milk, maybe. Jello. I don't... Jello's a little too viscous. It's gotta be more liquidy. Caffeine, no. Cotton candy? It kind of does look like cotton candy, you're right. You're right. It's the strawberry McDonald's milkshake! I wish! I can't really keep anything with cold temperatures in here, though. And I think the milkshake is a little thick to be inside this IV bag. I will tell you something, though. This IV bag can actually administer real medication, okay? It's not something that I would drink. It's actually something that I would administer intravenously. All right, I keep it on myself because it's something that I need in emergencies if anything happens to me, like an EpiPen. All right? And it also is very important for my patients if anything should happen to them. So think of it as like a little pink bag of like epinephrine. All right? Do you like my pink epinephrine bag? It's a massive epinephrine bag. It's not actually epinephrine though. You mean you don't take your shit? Nope. Nope. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I would say it's cranberry juice, but it's not the right color. You thought it was Gamer Subs in there? Well, if I ever do get sponsored by Gamer Subs, then sure, I'm gonna stick some Gamer Subs in there. Looking respectfully, Fahrenheit straight into your veins? No, not Fahrenheit, not Celsius. All right, so inside this bag, yes, is actually a really, really special blood type that can infuse into any species or creature. Whether you're human, demi-human, full animal, whatever. It's a very, very cool blood type. Very rare blood type. That was created synthetically in a lab. So if anybody is bleeding out or needs any sort of fluid resuscitation, this actually is compatible with anybody. So that's why it's really, really cool to have. Not type O universal, because it is similar to that in that sense for humans, but for us demi-humans, we actually have different blood types. We have more blood types than human blood types. So this includes all that plus more. Yeah, infinity blood type, right? Exactly. Yeah. Oh, magnesium is really, really good to help you for sleep and for stress as well. If you guys ever have like trouble sleeping, talk to your doctor about like taking magnesium supplements because a lot of people use that. Or if you guys have like any issues, I know people who have like mental health issues like depression or anxiety also find that taking magnesium helps a lot, especially when they're trying to get to bed and they have like all of these racing thoughts in their minds. Dogs got even more blood types than humans. Yep, exactly. So this little blood bag is the actual universal blood bag. Yeah. And you're wondering, can you ingest it? You know what? I've never actually tried ingesting it before, but I'd like to think that it's okay to ingest this. Blood? Maybe if there's like a vampire out there that really needs like blood to drink, then I could give this to a vampire hybrid or a vampire demi-human to drink. But for now, I think I just like to administer it intravenously into people just to be safe. Horseshoe crab blood. You wonder what it tastes like. I don't think it tastes like regular blood either. Maybe it actually tastes good. Maybe it tastes like strawberry milkshake. Strawberry milkshake blood. That's what it is. The universal treatment. The universal antidote. Strawberry milkshake will cure all your ailments. Will save all of those on their deathbeds. Resuscitate anybody bleeding out. Milkshake. It tastes like a milkshake. Just think of that. And I actually can take it out. So I can have both my arms free. I can have both my arms free. And now I have my legs free. If you guys are wondering why I have band-aids on my thigh, is because I always hit my thigh on the edge of the table. I'm a little bit of a klutz. So I actually have like really massive scars on my left thigh. I kid you not. From me scratching myself on the edge of tables. Very, very sharp corners of tables. And they have bled and they have scarred. And I just like to cover them with band-aids because why not? And it kind of reminds me of McDonald's because of the red and the yellow. So it reminds me that I really want to go get a milkshake and that McDonald's is the only place to get it. Ronald McDonald, sponsor me? Ronald McWonald, please sponsor. Donald McWonald. Right. Yes. Donald McBonald. Please sponsor me. Donald McBonald. Bye, Jamie. Have a good night. And if you're wondering, oh yes, this is the type of wrap that I used to put around my boobs in middle school. This wrap, yes. It's a splint wrap. The stretchy type. And then don't ask me why my stockings are ripped. I'm just too lazy to buy new ones. And this one's been washed a couple of times and my leg gets a little cold. So I like to cover them up. It's just like a very old sock, but it's the only sock that I have of this size. I have like other type of compression socks that I wear, but I personally like to wear ones where my toes are exposed because my toes get really hot, but my legs get really cold. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys. I like to keep my little toesies exposed to the air, but my thigh itself, I like to keep it nice and wrapped and cozy and compressed. So please ignore my battle scars. Also, just running around the clinic and running around the home, dealing with all the chaos. It's a little rugged. It's definitely seen better days. These are the proof of my hard work. They look good on me. Thank you. You're so sweet. Toe ventilation is underappreciated. I agree. I like to stick are you the type of people who like to stick your feet out of the blankets when you're in bed? Because that's exactly how I sleep. I sleep with a pillow in between my legs. And I like to stick my feet out of the blanket. And it's really annoying because Mama Effie will come into my room, for example, and will see that my legs are sticking out of my blanket. And I did that on purpose because I like that. But then she'll come and she'll put the blanket over my feet again. And then I'll get so pissed off and I'll be like, Mama Effie! Mama Abby, why did you do that? You woke me up. My toes were so comfortable being exposed to the air. Now you destroyed it. You destroyed my dream. I'm instantly awake when that happens. Yeah, I also like wiggling my toes a lot. It kind of like calms me down. So you'll see like little owl toe wiggles as I'm trying to go to bed. I think that's like a little bit of like my stim, because you know how like some people like shake their legs sometimes when they're nervous. For me, wiggling my toes calms me down. And I noticed that recently. When I try to go to sleep, I just focus on wiggling my toes. And whenever I have all these intrusive thoughts, or I get like really bad anxiety attacks or thoughts of like of monitor sounds in my head or my patients dying and bad dreams and nightmares of my past life and stuff like that, I just think of my toes. I just think of my feet. Think about how perfectly cool they are and I wiggle them. Feels so great. It's like a little massage. Mama, they be trolling. Keep telling her never to put the blanket over my toes. She knows I like my feet exposed. Anyways. And then I have one more thing I want to show you. So, you know, because I'm a very sweaty owl, I get very, very sweaty very fast. To the point that I've actually Googled why I sweat so much. And I thought it was a medical condition for the longest time. But then Google told me that that sweating, that not excessive sweating, but sweating early on in a workout is actually a sign of a fit person. Some people who are fit actually generate body heat a lot faster and generate sweat a lot faster because they know that they're going to be exercising, so their body knows to start cooling their body faster. Whereas people who don't, it's counterintuitive in some ways because you think, oh, if they're very fit, then shouldn't that mean that their heart rate doesn't go fast, increase really quickly, and then they shouldn't sweat really quickly? It doesn't necessarily mean that my heart rate increases and then I sweat more. I don't think my heart rate increases quickly, but it just, even though my heart rate is not high, I still sweat because my body knows I'm exerting itself and it starts to cool it down faster. So some people have that where they sweat earlier and they sweat a lot during a workout. And then there's some fit people who just don't sweat at all. It also is really much, really due to your genetics and your kind of your sweat glands and how your body is made up. So I just happen to be very sweaty. Maybe my sweat glands are very big and like to produce a lot of sweat. But speaking about sweat, oh no, do I actually have it? Give me 1 second. Let me just do a quick workout right now. Doing a quick workout to get the sweat. There we go. I've got my sweat. Now I'm sweating. Very hot. So yes, you'll see me sweating during my Ring Fit workouts, or if I'm ever doing like a weird dance on stream, then you'll see some Athy sweat. Or if I start to get a little bit nervous like this. Oh no, I made a mistake. That kind of thing. Yes. So what I was trying to say is, Athy sweats a lot, but I think Athy sweats a lot because I exercise a lot. And some people who exercise a lot just happen to sweat earlier on the workout, in their workout, even though their heart rate is not super high. Got it? And it's also the same for people who don't work out a lot. They tend to sweat faster because their heart rates are higher. So it happens in both ways. In both ways, yeah. Sweat merch when? Like a candle, like a sweat candle? You guys want a sweaty Athy candle? I just like drip my sweat into some candle wax and then you guys can have that. You want sweat merch? What kind of sweat merch would I even give you? Like my sweaty towel? I could give you tons of my sweaty towels. I have so many sweaty towels to give. I sweat through so many towels during every workout. Yeah. Sometimes my towel gets so soaked that you could like literally wring it. And then there's like sweat that just like pours out. Not like that Belle Delphine bathwater. My god, I haven't heard that name in so long. That is a big throwback. The Belle Delphine. Oh my god, the bathwater. The gamer girl bathwater. That started the trend. Bring it into the jar. Sure. I mean, you already have my cranberry juice. You don't want anything. You don't want this too, right? Isn't the cranberry juice enough? There's only so much bodily fluid I can produce on a daily basis to manufacture to you guys. Please don't overwork me, or else you're literally gonna wring me dry. It just came up since we're talking about selling your sweat. At this point, she was wrong. That sounds so sus. But it's true. There's only so much bodily fluid that I can produce in a day, so I don't think I can really sell my sweat. That'd be too much. How much sweat do you guys really need? Huh? Why don't you just watch me sweat from over here? Isn't that enough? Just vicariously smell that sweaty smell from across the screen. It's literally gonna be that. It's for Anthony. These are real topics, okay? My sweat glands like to overproduce. But you know what? This kind of reminds me of, like, you know, I just had like the weirdest thought. And please excuse me if this is a little bit yab. But then again, I'm always yab. My thoughts are always yab. But you know how, like, when women overproduce breast milk? And when they give birth, sometimes they produce too much breast milk. So then they sometimes donate their breast milk because they can't possibly feed all that milk to their baby. What if I'm like that, but with my sweat? So, like, I overproduce sweat. And now you guys are making me think that I can bottle up my sweat and sell it. Or donate it in some way. Like how women donate their breast milk. Nope. Yeah, that was the first thought that popped into my head when you guys were saying I should sell my sweat. Yeah, might as well put it to good use. If you can make money off your bodily fluids, why not? If people make money off your organs, then people can make money off your bodily fluids. I mean, come on, look at this. People be selling their sperm and sperm banks. People be selling their eggs, egg banks, right? People selling their breast milk, underground black market breast milk. Like underground breast milk black market. And then now we're gonna have an underground sweat black market? Maybe. With the donor's consent, of course. Sweat pump? Sweat pump? There's no such thing as a sweat pump. The only sweat pump is exercise. Just do a couple of jumping. Oh, a sweat pump is like a sauna. You just sit in the sauna and then that's all the sweat will pump out of you in the way you think. Hear me out. Use your sweat and produce salt and sell that salt. Oh. Ah. Yes. Yes. We're thinking along the right terms here. Genius idea. No. If you guys really want to cook with Afi, as in with my sweat, why not include a little bit of your favorite VTuber's bodily fluids into your food every day? Am I right? Isn't that everybody's dream? Every degenerate's dream is to have a little bit of their Oshi's bodily fluid in their food. Wow, what an idea. What an idea. Brilliant idea. Sell your owl sweat to humans who are trying to hide from the demi-humans. Right! Nobody will know. I'm a demi-human. It's like covering my cells with zombie guts. Except those zombie guts are sweat and other bodily fluids. Discussing the semantics of selling body fluids was not what I thought I would hear today. But then what else would you expect to hear from me today? My streams always end up talking about bodily fluids in some way because it's an occupational hazard, unfortunately. In my line of work, I've had pretty much every bodily fluid on me. Yeah. In one way or another. Because of work. I think the only bodily fluid I haven't had on me is Kyle. Like that milky stuff. I've seen Kyle. in my patients being drained before, like the white milky fluid. But I don't think I've ever had chyle spilled on me before. I've had blood, I've had urine, I've had the poops. I've had the other stuff. The little swimmers. Yes. Yes. If you're asking me, yes. At work, yes. It has happened in one way or another. No, but not because somebody was on there. It's because I was transporting it, okay? I was sending a sample. I was sending a sample and it spilled, okay? Not in that way. Don't think of it that way, dear God, you guys are disgusting. I was transporting a sample of the little swimmers and it spilled on me. On my shoes specifically, not on my clothes, on my shoes, okay? On my shoes. It fell out. It fell on my shoes. It fell on my shoes. Do be like that sometimes, okay? Alright. I've had pee in my shoe, especially, oh my God, getting pee in your shoe when you're wearing Crocs is the worst thing ever. I love wearing Crocs, but they have holes in them. And the amount of times that I've accidentally knocked over a urinal, well, because I put the urinal on the floor while I'm trying to help my patient back in bed, and then I'm getting up, and then I'm walking over, and I kick the urinal, and the urinal gets all over my shoes. I lost the number of times that has happened. I know. But it's just something that happens to us nurses all the time. So now, whenever I know I'm going to be taking care of a patient where I have to drain their urine a lot, I don't wear my Crocs when I take care of them. I wear my closed shoes. Just because I know anything can happen. But yeah, it's just very fascinating, like, all of the things that happen to us during our line of work. Actually, quite recently, there have been like a lot of violent incidences that have happened at work. We have a lot of psych patients that come in. My hospital is very much known for harboring a lot of violent patients with mental and behavioral illnesses. And in the past few weeks, I've probably had about half a dozen or so coworkers been kicked in the face, in the stomach, in the leg. We had one patient literally trash their whole room. They flipped their bed. They ripped the sharps container off the wall. They, for some reason, were able to lock themselves and barricade themselves in their room. So then we ended up having to call security and police. We had a patient, one of my coworkers, I walked into work and she was like, yeah, and a patient kicked me in the stomach today. So my back's a little sore. Her stomach wasn't sore. Her back was sore because the patient kicked her in the stomach and she flew across the room and her back hit the wall. So her back was actually bruised, but her stomach was fine. So she was like, yeah, my back's a little sore. I don't think I hurt anything. I think I just bruised it up a little bit because the patient kicked me today. I was like, oh, that sucks. Just another day. And then, yeah, it happens at least once a day. But then, you know, we have to give them the Ativan and you have like 10 people holding them down, trying to sedate them. Just the usual day. They've like climbing up the ceiling and climbing up the bed and trying to go into the ceiling and punch a hole in the wall. Yeah. Sounds thrilling. You know, like those Grey's Anatomy or those medical TV shows. It kind of feels like that sometimes when big violent events happen. But at the same time, you have to act professional in that moment, and you have to really protect yourself and protect the patient, and the people around you, because they're attacking the people around them too. So first and foremost is to really protect yourself. If you know that the patient is going to be hurting you, you really don't want to be getting close to them. But sometimes it's inevitable, because here's the issue, guys. And I'm going to tell you this before I end stream. Here's the issue. In our place, in my hospital, security doesn't touch the patient. Security does not touch them. They will only touch them if the patient starts to attack them. But if in any way the patient is not harmful or needs help being restrained to give a medication, security will not touch them if they are not actively aggressive, which means us as nurses are the first people to have to touch the patient to give them their medication. And if all of a sudden the patient decides, nope, not today, flicks their foot up in the air, decides to kick you across the room, apparently it's not security's fault that they can't hold them down for us. So we need to get like 6 tiny little nurses in there holding the patient down on every limb just to get one medication in, because apparently the patient is not aggressive. So security can't hold them down. So essentially, we're playing the security role. Like, what is even their job? Is this why all my coworkers are getting bruised up and beaten at work? I had one coworker. I actually haven't met her. She went on long-term disability leave several months ago because she was injured by a patient. There was a patient who had pushed her over, punched her, and she fell over and she pulled her shoulder, and she was out of work for almost a year. She's still out. Does your work give out CPI training to staff? Yeah. We have to be trained on how to deal with combative patients. They don't do in-person training. It's just a module that we do on the computer. Be like, so what do you do when your patient starts to act aggressive? Here are 3 things. Protect yourself. Kind of like active shooter module training, right? So that's what we do. And that's why we have the black belt. Yeah, I try to convince all my coworkers to take up some sort of martial art just so they can protect themselves. I have never seen this many psychiatric, actively combative patients in my life. In my old hospital I used to work in, we did get combative patients, but not to this degree. Here at our place, we get like really, really combative, serious patients that at that point, like, nobody can take care of them. They're on security watch 24/7. Yeah. Yes, you got an advantage. Yep, I got my advantage. Kind of. The only issue is that these patients don't get combative overnight. It's only during the day that they start to act up. Overnight, they're fine because we load them up on all of the sedative medications just so they could get through the night. And thank goodness, because we have like no resources in the nighttime. We barely have any nurses. We don't even have a manager. We don't have any like head of security or extra security guards to come and help us because they're already short-staffed overnight. So you can only imagine if someone starts to act up overnight, we have less hands on deck. And it definitely is gonna be a lot more dangerous. Since we don't have as many resources, right? Yeah. I remember when we had this one crazy patient literally escape. She escaped her bed, all of a sudden just jumped out of the bed, ripped her IV out, ran through the double doors, and almost escaped our unit. And this was all at like 6 a.m. in the morning. It wasn't even day shift yet, because day shift comes in at like 7:30. And I remember having to call security and call the doctor, be like, this is an emergency. This patient is going cuckoo bananas. We need to give something right now. And don't tell me to give me that little baby Thorazine because that's not going to do anything. Nothing. It hasn't done anything for them. So they had to call a behavioral code, which is really, really interesting. It's called a BERT, a behavioral emergency rapid response, or behavioral rapid response, BERT. And with the BRRT, you get like psych experts coming in, and then they can kind of consult as to what psychiatric medication or like what sedative medication you can give to the patient. So we just like gave them some Haldol and they were fine. I remember this one time when I was in nursing school. This is so cute. I was doing my psych nursing rotation and I was shadowing the BRRT nurse. So the BRRT person is usually like a nurse practitioner or a doctor even, who is on call. And whenever a behavioral code happens, they come to the scene and they have all of the good drugs inside this little luggage. So this lady, I was shadowing her. she had this little roller backpack. It was so cute. It's a rolly backpack with all of like the syringes and all the medications needed to kind of help in a behavioral emergency. And hanging off that little backpack was a little keychain of a stuffy of Bert from Sesame Street. I thought it was the cutest little thing I'd ever seen. I was like, is that Bert? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, 'cause you're a Bert nurse? She's like, yeah. And I was like, oh my god. So cute. I know, right? Anyways, that was a really fun memory. Usually in psych units, they're double locked, so they have 2 doors so that patients can't get through. It's almost like a prison, essentially, at that point. Anyways, that's all the stories that I really have to catch you guys up on. Sorry, my brain gets a little farty at this time of the night. That's all the stories I have to catch you guys up on. Catch you guys up on, yes, that's the order of words. Maybe I'm like low-key dyslexic. Sometimes I think about that myself. I'm dyslexic. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you for listening to my stories, and I hope you liked my debut 2.0. It's an interesting mix of Zatsu, going over my slides, dissecting myself. We had a little bit of fun. We went a little yob. But this is all the stuff that I feel very comfortable talking to you guys about. So I hope that we have more fun chatting streams in the future. I really appreciate all of you guys for sticking around. And I can't wait for some more fun tomorrow. Look forward to Trauma Center. I'm so excited. First game at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be playing Trauma Center on Wii U. And then later on, not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. Sorry. Tomorrow is my rest day. Tomorrow is my rest day. I'm just going to take a whole day to recharge. The day after tomorrow, on the 7th, I'm going to be playing Trauma Center at 5 p.m. And then I'm going to be doing a songwriting challenge stream at 10 p.m. because we haven't done one in a really long time and I really want to write another banger. The Shoop Shoop is getting very, very lonely. And my whole songwriting collection is kind of collecting dust, so it needs some companionship. Remember my Shoop Shoop? So fun! We will make a companion for Shoop Shoop! Yes! I'm so excited. And the songwriting stream actually is gonna be a challenge. So I'm gonna actually try and write a song in under 1 hour. I'm gonna try and write a bunch of songs. So I'm gonna try and maybe write like 2 songs, each under 1 hour. I'm gonna be using a random lyric generator to help kind of speed up the process. And it's gonna be so funny. It's like Mad Libs, but with songwriting. So you just insert random things into the generator and it gives you these lyrics that are so random. And you guys are gonna help me write those lyrics. And then we're gonna write a melody over it and make it sound super cool even though it doesn't make any sense at all. Sound good? All right. Remember to take care of yourselves, guys, and I'll see you in the next stream. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. Take care. Good night thee. Sleep tight thee. And don't let the bed bugs bite thee. Night night.